Probably makes you good at what you do. I had a manager who worked for me. Brilliant manager. People loved him. Highly rated.
Yeah.
But when he would sit at his desk, he'd sit like that. And people were afraid to go to talk to him because they thought he was in a bad mood.
Right, the body language.
So I borrowed a hand mirror from my wife. And I walked into his office one day with the mirror behind my back. And I said, Dan, how you doing? And I took the mirror and put it in front of me. He went, ah! He goes, God, I can't believe how angry I look. And I go, are you angry? He goes, no, I'm just deep in thought. I just have this angry look.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's
So
like, you have to be conscientious of how you're like presenting yourself, even when you think you're presenting yourself one way and
That's exactly correct.
coming off another.
So I appreciate people that are positive. I wanted you to say hand here. All right, Chris, right here.
Come in.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name is Carissa.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Nice to meet you,
meet you.
Lauren. Do you mind if I have a seat here?
Got it. Yes.
Thank you. And I would like to take some notes if that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll just
that's
take
fine.
up a little bit of
Yep.
the space here. All right, so here is my business card. Should you ever need to contact me for anything? Do you happen to have a business card on you, or?
I do not, but I'll send you an email.
Okay.
Just from that.
Great, I appreciate it. So how are you enjoying the convention so far?
Oh, it's always busy and overwhelming, but these are always fun events. So
Yeah,
it's
and the
going
flight
well.
over here was okay?
It was, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty short little jaunt from Cuba, but
Yeah. Have you been to Orlando before?
I have, for a couple other conferences. So
Yeah.
it's a great city.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up here, and so Rosen campus is an incredible place to have these types of conventions because there's always so many different things in the area. So if you ever do have downtime, it's a great place to explore. So
Yeah, no, we actually have plans to go to a restaurant on iDrive
Oh, great.
later on tonight, so I'm excited about that.
yeah, that's very exciting. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Do we still have 20 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then I understand Raphael couldn't join us today, but other than that, are you the only key decision maker that needs to be present?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, as I mentioned, my name is Carissa. I started with Neil TSP about 4 months ago after graduating from college.
Okay.
And I just fallen in love with the company and how they help salon businesses.
Okay.
Because as I'm sure you know, a lot of salons start off small, and I just love watching them grow. And I love seeing the people involved in it. So, how I would like to go about this, if you don't mind, is I would like to just ask some situation questions here, make sure that I understand what your salon truly needs before I go into any tech specifics or anything like that, because I understand, I want to tailor this to your needs. Okay, so do you mind if I ask a few questions?
No.
Okay, great. Now, I talked to Raphael, so just to make sure we're on the same page here, you do not currently have a technology software in place for your salon business.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So what is your current method for handling clients?
It's all done by our paper appointment book.
Okay.
Huge thing that takes up half the desk.
Yeah.
But yes, it's all done via paper.
Okay. And so does one person normally do that?
No, everyone on my staff, obviously has access to scheduling the appointments, because I'm not always there to answer the phones. I typically am the person that's sitting at the front desk greeting the people when they walk in. But, if I'm not there, whoever is closest to the phone has, the obligation to pick it up and schedule the appointment, write it in the book.
Okay, so it's truly like a team thing there.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So how many staffers do you have?
7.
You have 7? Okay. And is that including yourself?
No, 8. So 8.
Okay, so just including yourself. Okay. So now, as the manager, do you feel like you should be the one picking up the phones, or?
Yeah, it's just because, my staff has other responsibilities, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
We have masseuses and we have manicurists. They're doing the manicures and pedicures, and everyone just has other obligations.
Okay.
That they need to help provide. So we actually do have a support person though. So if I'm not there present, then the support person's included in those 8 people.
Okay.
It's kind of like the assistant, right?
Yeah,
so just
absolutely.
assisting everyone. If a room ran out of wax, like they'll go and put the wax in the room, and
Okay.
they're also responsible for helping me with just daily operations.
Yeah. So with those different operations, do you ever find that your staff kind of get distracted, maybe away from clients even?
Yeah. Because it's it takes time on what they're doing to answer the phone and confirm appointments. They have to confirm all of their appointments that are scheduled for the next day.
Yeah.
That's something I make all of them do.
If you don't mind me asking, how much time does that normally take?
Well, so that's the thing, right? I mean, if, each one of their services takes, an hour, and if they work 8 hours a day, and that's 8 phone calls that they have to make, leave a voicemail and then send an email. So, I mean, it can be consuming, definitely.
So you said about 8 hours just calling and following up their clients alone?
No, so they work 8 hours a day.
Oh, 8 hours a day, okay then.
And then, but if each one of our services is an hour,
Okay.
but if someone's for an eyebrow wax, or there's a appointment for an eyebrow wax, that's not going to take an hour. So I mean, at a minimum, they should be confirming about 8 appointments. But sometimes if it's a service that only takes 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they could have more than 8 that they need to call.
Okay.
If it's a full day.
So it sounds like they have a lot of different obligations in a typical day. With this current method of managing your clients and the appointment bookings, what kind of difficulties do you face with that?
Sometimes appointments get written in wrong. Sometimes, my staff isn't privy to what their day looks like the next day. They forget to check the calendar before they leave.
Okay.
So, and some of them only speak Spanish.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, if we have, especially with the U.S. citizens that are now able to come into the country, I'm anticipating that some of them probably aren't going to be able to speak Spanish. So, having, some sort of capability in place where if someone calls, they could have the opportunity to utilize the system, not only English, but Spanish would be good.
Okay, so English and Spanish?
Yeah.
So you said there's some Americans that have already come visit your resort?
There's what?
There's been Americans that have already come and visit your resort?
Yeah, but just, given the restrictions that have been lifted, I mean, Raphael and myself, we're anticipating that that's only going to increase.
Absolutely. So other than the language barrier there, have you faced any other difficulties with incoming traffic?
Yeah, I mean, it's more just, I think, inconvenience overall with just using a paper system.
Okay.
Having to track the appointments via paper system, having to confirm the appointments manually, having to pass the phone off to someone if, they're not, they can't set the appointment because they don't know how to speak English. It's, those are probably the challenges that I've faced the most.
Okay. All right, so far I understand that you go through the paper appointment route. So that means your stylists have to go email, call, everything like that. In an 8-hour day, that seems like it could take up quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
Especially when the stylist, most of your revenue does come from the stylist actually serving the client, correct? Like right there in the store?
Yep.
Okay. So there's one, you said that they don't know what their day looks like in advance. Like they have to book every appointment? Okay. And you also mentioned that there's a language barrier with, you have a lot of Spanish stylists?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, we're all, Hispanic, but there's myself, I know how to speak English, and there's a couple of other employees I have that can speak English, but I mean, some of them can't speak a lick. I mean, they don't know how to have a conversation, but it's,
And that must be difficult with
Right.
this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so based on those needs so far, Is there anything else that I haven't touched on yet that is still an issue in your resort?
I think, we want a system that can be standardized for all of our hotels. So, because, Raphael manages this resort, but, we have other resorts that have spas. So I think if we could get the same system implemented into all of those spas and resorts, that was something I think that he wanted.
Okay.
And we definitely need something that's going to bring us a positive return on investment.
Okay.
We don't want this to be a burden. It's something that isn't going to be generating us extended revenue.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you want it to be standardized among all the hotels. So currently, your hotels, they do not have the same system?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, for the salons.
For the salons, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you want a positive ROI and just an overall, a general revenue increase. We want this system to be able to help us increase our revenue. Okay, great. Well, based on the needs discussed, I believe Salon Biz provides solutions to each of these, and I'd like to go through those with you. So would you mind if I continued with the presentation and showed you kind of the specs now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so this is an overview of what Salon Biz provides.
Okay.
The main 6 key areas here are appointments and scheduling, point of sale, inventory control. We have marketing, reporting, and we have technical support. Okay. So you mentioned that your staff is bilingual. You have a lot of Spanish speakers, and now you have a lot of incoming Americans.
Yes.
So with this, we actually have 24/7 tech support. Okay. So if you ever, any time of day, have an issue, we have a Spanish-speaking staff and we have an English-speaking staff. So they're right there to help you out with that.
Okay.
Okay. The benefit of that as well is that your stylist can have your clients book their appointments online. So your clients book appointments online instead of having to follow up via phone and email. They can just look and already know their day and already know the next day as well if the clients have booked that far ahead.
Okay.
And that's also great because there's not really a translation issue there.
That's definitely something that we want, is being able to access the information. I think that the system's going to provide us remotely from a mobile device, a laptop. Right now, even if I had the capability to be able to, look into the system and see all of this from Orlando, that would be awesome.
Yes, and as a manager, I'm sure that's a great
it's giving
point.
me a little bit of, heartache being away and not knowing, having to make an actual phone call to check in on all this specific stuff and pulling someone off of what they're currently doing. So, that's something where we can access it from a mobile device or, a remote laptop is key.
Okay. Well, I'm on a college budget, so I don't have an iPad. I have iPaper over here. So I can actually provide you with a little demonstration of Salon Biz. Okay, so this is accessible on your mobile device, on your iPad. You can be in Hawaii for all you know, for anything. And you can still be able to see what your clients, what your staffers, you can see what everything is going on.
Okay.
In the inventory alerts, which I kind of briefly touched on here, those would pop up immediately, say, oh, you need to restock on this, and they'll be right there and you can access it with a touch of a button. Okay? And so this is just kind of what the pages look like. You can do your appointments ahead of time.
Okay.
This is also great because I know especially with a lot of new incoming business, it's going to get really hectic and crazy.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm sure you've already experienced this with a lot of Americans coming in. This way it's easy for not only you, but also for your stylist to just cancel and reschedule appointments very quickly, which saves time from.
So, I think another concern of mine that I have is, a lot of my staff members aren't very tech savvy and, I obviously could probably figure a lot of this stuff out on my own, but, it does seem a little bit complicated. I think I'm just concerned about how my staff's going to be able to learn how to use this.
Totally understandable.
This system.
Right here I have Salon Biz testimonials. You can see right here, the staff loves it. This is from Tara Vajda Salon and Spa. And so it actually only took 4 hours for our tech people to come in and explain that.
Okay.
And as you can see here, Casad is actually a Spanish-speaking salon.
Oh,
So they
okay.
were able to quickly use it, quickly grasp on.
Okay.
And I mentioned before the 24-hour service. So should you ever have someone not catching on quite as quickly, they can work on it by themselves. They can call a tech person.
Okay.
And we can have a specialist to your door and help work on that.
What are, I see here, I Love Salon and Spa. What are some of the other, hotel associations that you guys have provided your system for?
Okay. Well, we actually have some around here.
Oh.
Green Fairdown Salon.
Okay.
And we also have Scott J Salon and Spa.
Oh, all right.
Let's see here. SalonBiz was actually rated #1 across 200 salons in America.
Oh.
A lot of those are in like Miami area, so speaking cultures. So we
Oh,
kind of
okay.
cater, I feel like, to your needs there.
Oh, good.
So does that kind of help alleviate?
Yeah, definitely.
That concern there?
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. That's good.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right, and so let's see here. So like I said, this is easy to use here.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned return on investment.
Yeah.
So I know price is a big issue.
Yeah, this whole system sounds, it's going to be expensive. So, that's a big concern. I know it's going to be an expense, but, all of it sounds pretty expensive. So.
Well, I'll throw out this expense chart right here.
Okay.
So it's based off of your clients. So your staffers. So how many staffers you have.
Oh,
and you
okay.
said you have 8.
Correct.
Okay. So you'd actually be paying $99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that would include the entire packaging. It also includes marketing. So social media, all of that is included.
Okay.
All right, now let's do a brief calculation here.
Now, if I decided to increase my staff, am I kind of locked in at that rate, or are you going to bump me up to that?
You're not locked in because as you increase staff, we have to cater to that staffer's need, and so that's adding it.
Okay.
For the entire year, though, we'll keep you at that rate, just so it's not like you're switching every month. Because obviously, I want to see your business grow, and I don't want to have to say every month, oh hey, like I'm seeing you're doing successfully. Okay, we're just gonna bump up our prices. We'll lock in that $99 a month for an entire year. And let your business grow, and then reconvene and go from there. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, I did some research, and I saw that the average ticket for a salon visit is $65. Would you agree with me on that, or?
What do you like? How much someone spends?
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
like the general amount.
Yeah, ours is actually a little bit higher than ours. It's like
Okay.
85.
So like 85
Mhm.
a client's visit. Okay. All right. So on an average basis, an average stylist that you have, how many clients do you say they see in a day?
I'd say about 8.
So 8 clients, and that's just averagely speaking.
Yes.
When they're motivated and high performance, how many more clients do you think they see? Does that question make sense?
Well, yeah. So I think if they had like the half-hour one, so maybe like 11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's say 8 times 85. That's $680 right there from an average stylist client base. And then motivated stylist, you said is 11. All right, so that's 880 minus. So you're already maximizing $200 if your stylist is motivated. One of the great things that I love about SalonBiz is that we have performance indicators here. And so performance indicators, they actually have all of your stylists lined up in a row, and you can actually gauge how they're doing and how they're managing their clients.
Okay.
And it's been studied, I have on the back here, it's been shown in studies that stylists who aren't distracted by appointment bookings, who aren't distracted by phone calls and everything, they're at their maximum push out there, so they can serve those 11 clients a day.
Yeah, and I think that's why we want this system.
Yeah.
But another concern I had was the internet is going to be kind of unreliable. Where we are in Cuba, we do not have like the latest high-speed internet access. So I mean, how reliable is this going to be since you said it's all based off of the internet?
Well, it's based off of the cloud. And
Okay.
cloud technology, I realize it's a little confusing.
Uh-huh.
It's not based off of a regular Wi-Fi server.
Oh, okay.
So we'll actually have a router in your system. It's all backed up through the cloud. So should your internet fail by any chance, it doesn't disappear. It's going to be right there.
Okay.
All right, does that help answer your need there?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So we touched on ROI, we touched on how, sorry. Do I have to stop right there or? So we touched on ROI. You can see how just having your stylist more encouraged to perform better can save you money right there. Do you have any other questions or concerns?
No, not at this point.
Okay. Do you believe that having a system such as Salon Biz would help your business?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you think that maybe we could meet up with Raphael at another time and present Salon Biz to him?
Yeah, he'll be back in Orlando, I think, for another conference in a month.
Okay. So could we go ahead and set that schedule if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'll have to get with him, because I'm not sure of his schedule.
Okay. But you said next month?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will mark it for next month, and I'll give
Okay.
you a call later next week, perhaps
Okay.
on Wednesday around 6. And
Okay.
I'll just follow up with you and see if we can go ahead and schedule that.
Yeah,
That works?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for being with me. I appreciate it.
Alright. Oh my goodness.
What?
I'm nervous wreck. Oh my goodness.
You shouldn't be that nervous. I mean, the role plays are always, I feel like, more nerve-wracking.
I'm like, getting like, okay.
No, you did good. You did good.
Are you
done, or do you have one more?
This is it for today. I have
Oh,
two more role plays throughout the semester.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm done for today.
Cool.
Have you enjoyed your buyer experience so far?
Yeah, it's been
or-
fun. It's
Yeah.
been good.
Well, thank you so much for giving up your night for this. I know it's a lot.
No, it was
but-
good meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
All right, have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.